What's up, guys? I got tired of seeing that window, bed, and AC unit while editing all those videos, so this is what we ended up with. Anyways, I thought today that we would talk about the different classes that are available in Monsters and Memories now, in all of the playtests that'll be happening between now and the first quarter release of 2026. See what kind of take that Monsters and Memories has on each of these individual classes, and what race class combinations we can make with them. First up, we have the Archer, a range-based damage class possessing situational abilities. Archers are highly specialized ranged combatants who devote themselves to mastering use of the bow. These wizards of wood and steel are able to utilize a broad arsenal of attacks. Archers are capable of mortally sniping from afar, penetrating the strongest armor, debilitating moving enemies, and even imbuing their arrows with elemental energies. Adventuring parties are smart to employ these specialized but highly capable combatants. This arrangement is mutually beneficial, as all but the most highly skilled archers can find it difficult to adventure alone. Archers typically wear leather armor and can wield all ranged weapons and most melee weaponry. The races that are available as an archer are Deep Elf, Goblin, Halfling, High Elf, Human, Ogre, and Wood Elf. Seems like they are similar to a Ranger, lighter on the armor, likely more DPS, and a little more ranged focus, whereas we know in games such as like EverQuest, Rangers wear a chain armor and can even spot tank here and there. Next up, we got Bard, a jack-of-all-trades fighter whose music supports allies and enthralls enemies. Bards are traveling musicians who learn to manifest song as a form of magic. Unlike the other great magic users of Ether, who focus in a specific field, bardic magic is very diverse in its origins and capabilities. While a bard's song may not be as strong as certain magical spells, the experienced minstrel can bring to bear a solution for nearly any problem. Within an adventuring party, a bard is often sought out for their ability to enhance and inspire their allies. The time spent in taverns makes most bards decent melee combatants and quite capable at other roguish skills. While adventuring alone, a clever bard can find success in leveraging their wide range of skills and songs. Bards wear leather armor and are capable of wielding nearly all weapons, instruments, and alcohol-filled flagons. Races that can be a bard are Dwarf, Halfling, Human, and Wood Elf. Something to point out here is that bards wear leather in Monsters and Memories. Bards wearing plate always seemed interesting. Next up, we have Beastmaster, a wild martial combatant who is assisted by pets. Beastmasters are fierce, two-fisted melee combatants who draw upon the powers of animistic spirits to enhance themselves and gain influence over wildlife. Beastmasters also have access to shamanistic magics through communication with wild spirits. The most unique and outstanding use of the magic is their ability to take on the form of an animal. They are also able to tame wild animals and strengthen themselves and allies through various spells. While the stereotypical Beastmaster is depicted adventuring alone with their animal companion, they are very capable damage dealers whose magics are a welcome addition to any adventuring party. Beastmasters wear leather armor and wield most melee weapons. The following races can be Beastmasters: Deep Gnome, Halfling, Human, Ogre, Troll, and Wood Elf. Something to keep in mind is that they're likely not going to mention the Lizardman race in any of these, so it's safe to assume what classes might a Lizardman be. Likely similar to EverQuest, I would think. Maybe additionally a rogue. Next up, we have Cleric, a plate-wearing warrior priest who excels at holy magic, healing, and buffing. Clerics devote their lives to mastering healing and protective powers that stem from their stalwart beliefs and disciplines. Discipline. This is most commonly, but not always, manifested through their faith and service to a deity. Clerics are primarily magic users who specialize in mending wounds, curing ailments, and empowering allies. Powerful clerics may even bring their fallen allies back to life. Though clerics excel at healing, they are competent melee combatants. Through strength and arm and unwavering faith, clerics smite their enemies with steel and employ words and wards. Within an adventuring party, a cleric's primary role is most often that of a healer, yet they can be fairly sturdy folk and take blows in place of their allies if the need arises. They do wear plate after all. A cleric may find difficulty adventuring alone unless they are fighting foes against whom their faith specializes in destruction. Maybe undead. Clerics prefer blunt weaponry and are typically seen in heavy plate armor. The following races can be clerics: Deep Dwarf, Deep Elf, Dwarf, Gnome, Halfling, High Elf, and Humans. Next up, we have Druids. A naturalist who communes with the wild to unleash powerful nature and healing magics. Druids are protectors of the natural balance of Ether. They are adept healers, skillful augmenters, and competent wielders of nature's destructive powers. Druidic magic on Ether primarily employs elements from nature, but may harness astral powers as well. Offensively, these powers reflect nature's most destructive elements. A druid's true strength lies in their adaptability. They can erode a foe's resistance to spells, provide various magic enhancements to allies, summon the aid of natural beings, and even harness their connection to other planes to facilitate teleportation. These diverse capabilities allow them to fulfill many different roles in adventuring parties, but through clever use of their magic, they are often seen braving the wilds of Ether on their own. Druids prefer to wear leather armor while wielding blunt weaponry, or specialized blades such as sickles and scimitars. Farming weapons. The following races can be Druids: Deep Gnome, Goblin, Halfling, Human, Troll, and Wood Elf. The interesting thing there is Deep Gnome. Elementalists. It's going to be our mage type. A conjurer of elemental magics, including a variety of elemental pets. Elementalists are dedicated magic users who devote themselves to the study and mastery of elemental forces, both on Ether and throughout the greater planes. An elementalist is rarely without an elemental companion, and much of their magical ability is devoted to empowering or otherwise utilizing these companions in various ways. That being said, an elementalist's magic is very capable at raining down chaos and maelstrom upon their enemy directly. As a result of their interest in and study of the elemental planes, elementalists have learned to conjure various useful, though sometimes strange, items, each with a myriad of different uses. Within adventuring parties, it is most often the role of an elementalist and their elemental companions to bring as much harm to the group's foes as possible. With the aid of their elemental allies, an elementalist never truly adventures alone. Elementalists wear cloth armor and have limited access to melee weaponry, often preferring staves, wands, and daggers. The following races can be elementalists: Deep Dwarf, Deep Elf, Deep Gnome, Gnome, High Elf, Human, and Ogre? Next up we got Enchanter, an illusionist, mesmerist, and beguiler who makes a strong crowd control class. The ultimate support, wouldn't you say? Enchanters are subtle spellcasters who study magic that affects the mind and manipulates the ephemeral, making them masters of control and subterfuge. Woo! An Enchanter's spellbook is diverse and situational. It is in those unique situations where the application of their magic is most powerful. Their greatest strength in battle is their ability to assault the minds of their foes, causing them harm, incapacitating them momentarily, or turning them against their allies. Enchanters are also capable of imbuing their allies' weapons with magical effects, causing them to inflict greater harm with their blows. An enchanter is most at home when adventuring with others, and their role within adventuring parties is primarily that of one who controls the battlefield. When adventuring alone, an enchanter may encounter some difficulty, but clever application to their unique magic may ease that burden. Enchanters typically wear cloth armor and tend to wield staves, wands, and daggers. One thing that I had heard early on in class design was that they were thinking about having enchanters possibly not haste, although it kind of sounds like they can here, and also I think that might have been it. They did talk heavily about having shamans have the greatest haste and slow, where in something like EverQuest, enchanters and shamans both have haste and slow, but shamans tend to have a little bit better slow, and enchanters have a little bit better haste. But they did discuss, enchanters being overpowered in EverQuest, and they wanted to, just take them down a notch in this game. Now they are out on the play tests, but there's only so much time. So any of you who have been playing enchanters out there, feel free to chime in the comments and let us know how it's going and what of that have stuck so far, because there are changes that have, been rolling out. The following races can be enchanters: Deep Elf, Deep Gnome, Dwarf, Gnome, Goblin, High Elf, Human, or Troll. Troll is interesting. Now you don't have to do troll form. Next up we have Fighter, a master of weapons and melee combat, who is also a premier tank class. Fighters are those who strive to master the multitude of arms and armor that one may find throughout their travels. They excel at being at the heart of combat, taking blows for their allies and striking back in kind. Fighters are found in nearly every culture across the continent of Aetheryl? I gotta learn how to pronounce that. A unifying link between all fighters is the courage to stand toe-to-toe with even the greatest of monsters. As such, their commanding presence in battle can control the flow of chaos by directing attention onto themselves. A fighter's equipment is often selected based on the situations they may find themselves in, meaning that veteran fighters always have a diverse arsenal at their disposal. However, in terms of weaponry, many fighters prefer to enter combat with a weapon in each hand, should the situation allow. While adventuring, a fighter should find themselves most comfortable when in the company of others. The world of Ether is a dangerous place, and skill in battle alone can get you only so far by yourself. Besides, without a group of companions in tow, who will carry their ale? Fighters can wear all armor types and are capable of wielding all weapons. The following races can be a fighter: Deep Dwarf, Deep Elf, Dwarf, Gnome, Goblin, Human, Ogre, Troll, Wood Elf. I notice Deep Gnome and High Elf are missing. Next up we have Inquisitor, an anti-mage knight who disrupts the control of their enemies. So kind of like a spellcaster tank, maybe? Inquisitors are brutally efficient melee combatants who, through use of magic and force of will, assaults the mind of their opponents to dominate and control the battlefield. Inquisitors are often employed by various organizations throughout the continent of Aetheryl as enforcers of said employers' particular brand of justice. Inquisitors tend to be driven folk who will get the job done no matter the cost, and in the most direct manner imaginable. Using their magical training, an Inquisitor is capable of quite a few different ways to assault the opponent's mind. This includes temporarily rendering a foe unconscious, eroding an opponent's willpower, making them more vulnerable to attack, and permanently damaging their psyche. Inquisitors often find themselves as the focus of their foe's attention, making them well suited for the role of protector within adventuring parties. While adventuring alone, an Inquisitor may find some difficulty, though through skill and determination, can still find some manner of success. Inquisitors can wear plate armor and wield most weapons. It seems like, kind of reminds me of how Death Knights were when they came out in World of Warcraft. They were kind of, the intention at least, was to design them to be like a tank when it came to heavy caster bosses. Kind of reminds me of that. The following races can be Inquisitors: Deep Dwarf, Deep Elf, High Elf, and Human. Not that many. Only 4. And they seem to be really weak classes. Human probably being the most sturdy, along with maybe Deep Elf. Not really sure what's going on with Deep Elf. Deep Elf maybe seems a little more of a castery dwarf, though. Next up we have Monk, a strong martial artist who hones in on the strength of their body to unleash powerful kicks and punches. Monks are a skilled martial artist who devote themselves to shaping their bodies into deadly yet graceful instruments of violence. For many monks, this devotion is of a spiritual nature, though this is not necessarily true for all of them. Most monks view battle as a grim necessity to further their art. Others view battle as a righteous and glorious end rather than a means. Monks choose to face their opponents up close and head on. Above all else, monks choose to master the use of their bodies as weapons. With deadly blows, well-placed kicks, artful dodging, and even the ability to fake their own death, monks make for potent melee combatants. Within an adventuring group, monks use their speed, dexterity, and bravery to draw in foes for their allies to fight. They also deal significant harm to their enemies, and if needed, maintain the attention of said enemies. Some monks may find adventuring alone a difficult task. Others use their unique skills to help them through periods of solitude while they wander ether, searching for new adventures. Monks can wear leather armor and prefer to fight with their fists or wield staves. The following races can be monks: Deep Elf, Human, and Ogre. Now that's interesting. Deep Elf, Human, and Ogre. Ogre Monk, Deep Elf. Likely Lizard Man when they come out, I would think. Next up we have Necromancer, a spellcaster who studies the art of necromancy to reanimate the dead and unleash powerful poison, disease, and corruption magic. Necromancers are shadowy spellcasters who dedicate themselves to the study of the soul and its connection to life. Necromancers are most infamously known for their reanimation of, otherwise tampering with, corpses. Many people view necromancers with disdain and distrust, if not outright revulsion, due to the grim, and some believe profane, nature of work. The pages of an experienced necromancer's grimoire contain many different curses which debilitate and harm both the living and the undead. A necromancer's greatest tool, however, is their ability to animate undead minions. They are also capable of shaping flesh and bone in order to mend wounds, though such magic often comes at a personal cost. While adventuring, a necromancer's purpose is to harm and debilitate their foes, while their allies, be they undead servants or fellow adventurers, shield them from harm. A necromancer can find success in both adventuring parties and adventuring alone. Necromancers wear cloth armor and typically wield staves, wands, scythes, and daggers. The following races can be Necromancers: Deep Dwarf, sweet, Deep Elf, Deep Gnome, Gnome, Goblin, Human, and Troll. Troll Necromancer? Chia. Next up we have Paladin, a knight who combines their fighting skills with faith-based magic. Paladins are ardent knights who staunchly devote themselves to a deity, ideal, or cause. They complement their martial prowess with powerful magic that is derived from the strength of their beliefs or faith. Paladins are steadfast melee combatants who weave life energies into their blows, providing succor to their allies. Their magic allows them to heal, cure, protect, and embolden those around them. Paladins are also known to specialize in the destruction of the undead. Within an adventuring group, it is most often a paladin's role to shield their allies from harm by directing the ire of their foes upon themselves. They may find difficult when attempting to adventure alone, and are best suited towards assisting others. Paladins typically wear plate armor and wield most melee weaponry. The following races can be Paladins: Deep Dwarf, Deep Elf, Dwarf, Gnome, Halfling, High Elf, and Human. Next up, we have Ranger, a fighter and archer with a druidic gift. So this is like a three-way hybrid. There are few who are as capable at traversing the wilds of Aetheryl as Rangers. They are wandering survivalists who combine nature-based magics with blade and bow. Rangers are known as skilled explorers and guides, as they spend most of their time traversing the most difficult climbs. While Rangers are able to cast natural and astral spells, it is not to the same effect as Druids. They make up for this through skillful use of melee and ranged weaponry. Still, a Ranger's magic is quite capable of causing harm, debilitating their foes or rooting them in place. Within an adventuring party, a Ranger most commonly takes the role of melee combatant, seeking to bring down their foe as quickly as possible. However, they are also quite capable of supporting their party at range or with magic. Resourceful and skilled Rangers can make their way alone as long as they utilize all of their skills available to them. Rangers wear chain armor and have access to a wide array of weaponry. The following races can be Ranger: Dwarf, Goblin, Halfling, Human, Ogre, and Wood Elf. Again with the Ogres. An Ogre Ranger. Next up we have Rogue, a thief and trickster who excels at stealth, daggers, and thievery. Rogues are deft combatants who devote themselves to mastering the use of stealth, poisons, and all manner of tricks. All across the land of Aetheryl, wherever you find a shady back alley, a rundown tavern, crowded marketplace, or gathering of district nobles, you will also find rogues. They are known to be skilled informants, thieves, and even assassins. Rogues bring a plethora of skills into combat. The use of poisons to harm or debilitate foes, or a well-placed strike, may catch an opponent off guard, temporarily taking them out of a fight. In tough situations, a skilled rogue can quickly vanish from sight, allowing them a chance at surprise attack or the option to leave the battle altogether. However, they are at their best when their foes are distracted by others, as to turn your back on a rogue is to invite a pointed outcome. In adventuring parties, a rogue's role is that of a melee combat, focusing on the destruction of their enemies. While adventuring alone, they may find it hard to take down stronger enemies, but through stealth and the picking of pockets, it's feasible that they can at least afford a beer or two. Rogues prefer lighter armor and can wield most melee weaponry. So I do think I heard rogues have sap, like in World of Warcraft. I do also believe they have short duration stuns, long enough to get behind their, if they were soloing, long enough to get behind their enemy to pull off a backstab. And by the sounds of it, they have a vanish, which is really cool. Combat, to leave combat. The following races can be rogue: Deep Elf, Deep Gnome, Dwarf, Gnome, Goblin, Halfling, Human, Troll, and Wood Elf. Troll Rogue. Dude, Trolls and Ogres are getting hooked up. Deep Elf Rogue, though, sounds pretty cool. Next up, we have a Shadow Knight. A knight who utilizes necromancy and other powers to augment their fighting abilities. Shadow Knights are grim combatants who commit their lives wholly towards seeking out the greatest evils lurking throughout Ether, no matter the cost. Their motivations differ. Some search the darkness for personal power or fame, while others carry with them a vendetta or bright mission wrapped in a black cloak. Shadow Knights harness magic that originates from the very darkness they strive so relentlessly to combat. This magic primarily takes the form of draining and leeching spells, as well as spells which shape shadows to enhance the caster's defense. Within adventuring parties, it is often a Shadow Knight's duty to attract the ire of their foes away from their allies, though they are also quite capable of inflicting harm. When adventuring alone, a Shadow Knight may find some success through clever use of their magic. Shadow Knights can wear plate armor and usually prefer to wield two-handed weapons, though they are capable of wielding all types. Really the first mention of two-handed weapons. The following races can be Shadow Knights: Deep Dwarf, Deep Elf, Goblin, Human, Ogre, and Troll. I'm really attracted to the at least, let's say, the concept art of Deep Dwarves. Now, who knows what they'll actually end up looking like in-game, but Deep Gnomes and Deep Dwarves are really appealing to me in their concept art so far. Just the other day, by the time you see this, probably close to a week ago, I was watching the creation of the model for Deep Gnomes. That was really cool. Check out these guys on Twitch. They're doing some really, really cool behind-the-scenes stuff. Next up, we have Shaman, an alchemist who speaks with the spirits and has powerful heals and curses. Shamans are animistic spellcasters who study and commune with spirits, souls, and nature. For many cultures across Aetheryl and Ether, more broadly, shamans serve as spiritual leaders and moral guides. Within these cultures, the shaman often take the role of a mediator between ancestor spirits and descendants, allowing communication between the two parties. The shaman often walks along the edge of many realities. Shamans are powerful healers with access to many regenerative spells, as well as a wide range of spells that may enhance an ally's combat prowess or debilitate and destroy their enemies. Experienced shamans can summon bestial spirits to aid them in combat. Though most powerful when casting spells, they are also capable melee combatants when the need arises. Within an adventuring party, the shaman most often takes on a supporting role. When adventuring alone, they may find some success through clever use of their abilities. Shamans may wear chain armor, as well as wield blunt and piercing weaponry. The following races can be shamans: Deep Gnome, interesting, Goblin, Human, Ogre, Troll, and Wood Elf, also interesting. Next up, we have Spellblade, an offense-focused fighter who infuses their weapons with arcane magics. Spellblades are scholarly warriors who combine sword play with spellcasting. To a Spellblade, this combination is a delicate and beautiful art, which they devote their lives towards mastering and refining. Experienced Spellblades often choose to wield a weapon in each hand as a means to further pushing the bounds of their skilled blade work. They tend to study similar magic to that of wizards, but a Spellblade's line of magic primarily focuses on shielding and enhancement. By using their weapons as casting implements, Spellblades become a beautiful whirlwind of magic and martial destruction within combat. A Spellblade should find adventuring most comfortable when supported by others. Within an adventuring party, a Spellblade is above all else a honed implement of destruction, though they may take on a more defensive role if needed. Spellblades can wear leather armor and wield staves, daggers, and swords. The following races can be Spellblades: Deep Dwarf, Deep Elf, Dwarf, Gnome, High Elf, and Human. What I've noticed so far is it doesn't seem like Gnomes and Deep Gnomes really ever make the same class. Lastly, we come upon the Wizard, an extremely gifted spellcaster who utilizes destructive magic to slay their foes. Wizards are dedicated scholars of the magical arts who seek to become masters of magic through study and practice. As the forerunners of magical knowledge and resource, they hold the ability to cast the most complex and dangerous spells available to mortals. Wizards excel at bringing battles to a swift end from afar with correctly chosen and deliberately timed spells. A wizard arrives precisely when he means to. Should they become too depleted to use their spells, they are able to enter melee, delivering magically enhanced blows that reinvigorate themselves. Now that is interesting. You got like Mana Leech or something? Wizards are also capable of making foes more vulnerable to magic, enhancing allies' blows with extra effects, and manipulating the fabric of reality with teleportation-focused magic. Within adventuring parties, a wizard's role is focused on violence of action, to deal as much harm as possible, as quickly as possible. Burn 'em. Some wizards may find adventuring alone to be difficult, but clever use of spells could prove otherwise. You hear that a lot. Wizards wear cloth armor, as well as wield staves, swords, and daggers. The following races can be wizards: Deep Elf, Deep Gnome, Dwarf, Gnome, High Elf, and Human. In the black and white portrait, that would be a Deep Gnome wizard. Looks pretty cool. So that's going to do it for the classes within Monsters and Memories. That's they're going to be their take on the different classes. I think there's a couple of there that I personally haven't, a couple of like hybrids in there that I personally haven't really played in another game. Not saying that they're not in another game, but I personally, in the MMOs that I've played, there's a couple of hybrids in there that I haven't had any experience with. So, pretty interesting. Anyways, in the light of the lack of Quarmage and everything else, gonna keep covering this this game, and looking forward to the next playtest. See you in the next one.